Hey, what is up, everybody? Metal Biker Dude coming at you here. I am so frustrated right now, and I need some help. Please, I need some help here. So I've been trying to figure out this RSS feed thing, and Jared over at Patreon has been trying to help me out a lot, and between the two of us, we really can't quite figure this out here. I'm going to post something up here for you guys right here, so you can see. I'm trying to use the Google one right now. Jared is on transistor.fm, something like that, but it's his, and so I'm trying to figure out without having to pay out another monthly payment, because I already have two things that I have to pay monthly for the channel, and I don't want to have to invest more money into it. But anyway, I'm just trying to figure this out, guys. I'm just trying to create an RSS feed where I can upload audio versions of my podcasts, so I can dish them out accordingly. iTunes, Spotify, Patreon, wherever. So, anyway, by the way, thank you guys, everybody that came over there to watch the podcast thus far. We did a deep dive on some deep topics, and we talked a little bit about the butterfly effect and its effects on humanity, and it got kind of deep, and it went really long, and I apologize. It was 2 hours long. Excuse me. And I didn't mean to go that long, so I really abbreviated the football picks and all that stuff in there as best I could. But at any rate, it is Patreon Thursday, and so here's the deal. I've had a ton of requests for Avenged Sevenfold on from the LBC show, which I'm guessing stands for Long Beach, California. And so the four choices that we had were Scream, Buried Alive, Save Me, and A Little Piece of Heaven. And A Little Piece of Heaven won. And again, you guys, you were all able to vote on these. All you have to do is go to the podcast page. And speaking of the podcast page, if you watch the podcast, you will see there's a game in there now. It's called Would You Rather? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top three votes, the ones that get voted on, the three highest, and I'm going to answer those questions. Out of those questions, I'm going to pick what I think the best question was. That person will be able to get a request put in, and we will do that within 72 hours. So if you want to get a request in, go check out the podcast, and I promise you, I don't care what genre it is, I promise you, if your question gets picked, I will do your request for you if you are the winner of the top three. So, at any rate, LBC, Avenged Sevenfold, is the LBC one has been by far the most requested Avenged Sevenfold. So it must have been one hell of a show. And I may do it in its entirety at some point. I've got a lot of things in the cooker right now. So, but I wanted to give you guys something here, and I know Buried Alive got a lot of requests on the pages, and that's where I just pulled them off, was in the comment section. That's where all of those came from. So this is the one that won, though. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So we'll get to Buried Alive at some point here, but everybody had an opportunity to vote. So if you wanted Buried Alive, all I can say is you should have voted on it. It's open to the public. So, any rate, let's do this. Avenged Sevenfold, A Little Piece of Heaven, live at LBC. Had the mute button on. Sorry, guys.
story begins. Is it such a sin for me to take what's mine until the end of time? We were more than friends before the story ends, and I will take what's mine, reap what I would never design. The love had been so strong for far too long. I was weak with fear that something would go wrong before the possibilities came true. I took a possibility from you, almost left herself to tears, conjuring the deepest fear. I'm just down to 50 fucking times. I can't believe it. After honey, I'll be for crying. I'm overeating. Eat it.
Okay, so I think, first of all, a couple things there. First of all, I think I see why this one got picked, because we got the Rev in there singing right on. The guy's just a sick drummer, and the fact that you can sing on top of that and keep that kind of pace and hit with that type of velocity, and I've already noticed there were 2 different time signatures here, so very, very cool. I'm guessing this is at the end of the show with all the confetti and all that stuff. But, you know, one thing we have to address, and this is one of the things that attracts me, and as you guys know, I've told you before, I'm not like into the speed metal and all that stuff. I like stuff with a groove to it, you know. And I think that that's probably why the transition for me from, you know, heavy metal to kind of rap and hip hop stuff, it's because I do enjoy those grooves. And this is another one of those with just a really fantastic groove to it.
She was never this good in bed, even when she was sleeping. Now she's just so perfect, I never been quite so fucking deep in. And it goes on and on and on. I can keep you young and preserve forever. But I'll just pray under you whenever. I never really knew that my little cry be cold. That's why I got a heater for you. And I know it's not your time, but bye-bye. In a word to the wise, when the fire dies, you think it's over, but it's just begun. The baby, don't cry. You had my heart, at least for the most part. 'Cause everybody's gotta die sometime. We fell apart, so let's make a new start. 'Cause everybody's gotta die sometime. My baby, don't cry. Possibilities I never would incur. I'm occurring the likes of which I never heard. Then an angry soul comes back from beyond the grave to repossess somebody with which I misbehaved.
So this is another one of those things that I think that I really like about him is, you know, everything, especially this is a great example of what I'm about to say. There's a lot going on, okay? And sometimes when you do things like that, it gets too complex. And this is why, you know, I always go back to the AC/DC thing, and AC/DC sold so many albums because of their lack of complexity. Okay, everything was in 4/4, and everything happened on the downbeat. It was every song was like that, right? But they sold billions of albums, and then you have bands like I hate to use Rush as an example because Rush has such a fervent following of fans, But there are some bands that they just get way too complex and it just goes over everybody's heads, and it's almost directionless. There's a lot going on here in this song, but it's still simple enough to comprehend in the brain immediately, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's called listenability, and without listenability, you're just going on a tear and nobody's paying attention.
Right from here to end, almost laughed herself to tears. That sounded 50 fucking time. I can't believe it. It gets harder as people burn. I know the reason. Eat it. To know that it's done, I realize the nature of my ways. I must enter back to apologize. Somewhere far beyond the grave. Well, I gotta make up for what I've done. While I was all up in a piece of heaven, you burned in hell, no peace forever. I never really knew that my little crime be cold. That's why I got a heater for you. That's it, I know. Yes, I know it's time to die. And a word to the wise when the fire dies. Think it's over, but it's just begun. Now, baby, don't cry. You had my heart, at least for the most part. 'Cause everybody's gotta die sometime. We fell apart, so let's make a new start. Whoa. 'Cause everybody's gotta die sometime. Yeah. My baby, don't cry.
Okay, I'm not sure if there was a hiccup in the video there or something. I don't know. But here we are back with Matt in his vocal prowess. He's just on top of it all the time. He's just killing it. The tone, the range. He's got that certain amount of rasp in there, and he just knows how to slay, man. And I've really grown to love his vocals. It's a good song, man. I have some things that I want to say at the end that I'm not terribly fond of, but it's a good song so far.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Well, these are real fans, man. They know the whole chorus here. Apparently, I'm guessing they had some kind of choir thing going on in the original.
Long Beach, thank you so much for the hometown support. We fucking appreciate and love each and every one of y'all. See you next time.
So that was the final one. Okay. Okay, so I got to tell you, one thing that I have just really grown to really enjoy about Avenged Sevenfold is they do have that sound that seems to be dead, and they seem almost unapologetic about it. It's almost an 80s metal sound, but yet still updated. But it's definitely an 80s formula. And I've heard so much about this band and that band, and you got to hear these guys, but the reason that I got stuck in the type of metal that I was listening to is for that reason, because I happen to love that formula. And there was a part where it kind of skipped. I think the video skipped or something. I'm not sure what happened there, but that groove that came in there, oh fuck, that's right up my alley, man. I love that sound. And one other thing I wanted to point out too is when the Rev was singing, he was taking the high harmony, and that was really surprising and very cool. Now I noticed in another video I watched that did not have the Rev in it that Sinister Gates seems to be taking over the responsibilities of that high harmony, but very cool. Johnny Christ, he was holding that low end down and just keeping that thing alive, and I liked that. Just everything was really great. My only, I guess, criticism, and I hate to use the word criticism because I really did like the song, is it did kind of go out there a little bit. It went to the edge a little bit, as far as kind of weirdness, but it wasn't so much that I went, oh no, I can't. It was still really fucking great. It was a great tune. I'm guessing that it was something personal to somebody in the band, maybe Matt Shadows, I don't know, lyrically speaking. But yeah, I got to ding that one. Ding, ding, for sure. And as you guys know, some of you may not know because I do so many rap and hip hop reactions. Whenever I download a song, if I put it on my playlist, I download it. And if I download it, then I download the studio versions. But with that said, I think at some point I would probably enjoy watching that full live show. So I don't know if I'll ever get an opportunity to do that unless I get enough people pounding me for it. But that takes a long time, and I realize that when I do those types of things, I tend to bite off more than I can chew. It just takes a lot of time to do those kinds of videos. But anyway, again, if you want to get your request in, go check out the podcast. You'll see exactly how to do it. And there's going to be a guaranteed winner every week. All right. Metal Biker Dude. Peace.